Hello, Heirs to the Throne channel. This is Lorena Dor. I welcome you once more. Thank you for tuning in. We're really honored that at least you're part of it and you're learning, you're getting encouraged, you're getting motivated with the stories that we share through the Heirs to the Throne channel. I'm honored today to again host a fellow youth who is moving the kingdom of God to another level, and we'll get to hear his story. He has an interesting and amazing story that if you just sit down and hear and as well watch, trust to me, your life will be changed and you'll have a different perspective of Christianity. Welcome to the show and thank you for accepting to come and share with us your story.
Well, I'm so honored to be with you guys, Heirs to the Throne. As God has told you, a fellow youth preaching the gospel of God in this generation. We honor God so very much. It's not by power nor by might, but by the Spirit of God.
Amen.
His grace is ever sufficient.
Amen.
Well, my name is Paul Nsubuga. I'm from Uganda. My calling is under apostleship. So
Amen.
You can choose to call me Apostle Paul Nsubuga. That's also great. Yeah, I'm just
nice.
a youth, and I'm so honored to sit in the studios of Heirs to the Throne.
We are all heirs to the throne, you know?
Amen.
Inheritors of God's kingdom.
I get that point.
Yes. So like Apostle Paul, you're from Uganda, and then maybe you can tell us a little bit of your background, where you grew up, and then how did you start ministry-wise, like childhood things, you know?
Yeah, I get.
Yes.
Well, I'll begin by my age. I'm 26 years. I'm single and settled.
Not searching.
Hallelujah, not searching.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, single and settled. Well, I began ministry way back in 2006 when I came to salvation. However, I relaxed a little, like some people may come to salvation and they backslide. They don't take something serious due to various circumstances that may come their way. But however, when it came to 2013, I became more serious with the gospel of God. As I told you, I'm from Uganda, and in a village or in a district called Buyukwe district. There is a village deep there, it's called Ajija district, Ajija village. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Well, in that village there is a church, it's called Ajija Pentecostal Church. It's pastored by Pastor Moses Magunda, that's a Chiganda name. Well, that's where I do minister as an assistant youth pastor, and I do ministry there. However, while in town, in Kampala, I fellowship with Phaneroo Ministries. There, I do not minister, I do not go there to play drums or preach the gospel like on the pulpit as I do in the village.
Okay.
But I just go there to fellowship with the brothers there.
Okay.
Phaneroo Ministries International is pastored by Apostle Grace Lubega, the man of God. Yeah, we always gather at Wuma Showgrounds, Logogo, every Thursday in the evening. We always fellowship there. I came to know Christ in the year 2006. I had just crossed from my primary level to my secondary level. So I found this man of God. He was once a Muslim and he converted. He was called Ahmed. So Ahmed preaches the gospel to me. However, as he was preaching the gospel, I was a staunch Catholic, and I was a spy in school, because I was an usher boy, I was an altar boy in the Catholic church, and the school was also a Catholic school. So he was not allowed to preach the gospel. However, I could spy on them every time they could have meetings anywhere and report them. So I actually participated so much in their persecution. It's so amazing. However, cutting very many things short, when it came to 2006 December, remember it was on the 1st of December. We were having holidays the next day. Then at night, I confessed Christ as my personal savior.
Okay, maybe to just take you back a little bit.
Okay.
When you say you're persecuting Christians, what do you mean by this? Like you used to do some weird stuff, or maybe just a little bit of what?
Well, when people talk about persecution, maybe someone may think you go beat them, you go do what. Not really, but I was basically leaking information from them to the administration, because the administration was fully Catholic. So I could go to them, sometimes sit amidst them, sometimes just run around the school to see what they are doing. So I leak information from the born again fellowships to the administration. Many of them were suspended from school, many of them were expelled from school, others were beaten by the administration to stop the things of Christ in school. So if I say I participated in their persecution, I think I'm right, but not like actively beating them or what, but giving information from the fellowships, the administrators, and then these guys were heavily punished. However, at the end of it all, I found myself confessing Christ, actually led by the person I used to hate most, to Christ.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when I came to 2007, I was strong, like any other person that just come to Christ. You're eager to know things, you're eager to see how things work. You desire so much to see Christ work in you. Yeah, I was so much on fire for Christ in 2007, 2008. However, 2009, I backslid. I walked away from Christ. Like, I could go to church, but not so active as I used to be. Maybe the love of God, like, my love for God had decreased. However, His love was increasing more and more.
Of course.
So, 2008, 2009, I backslid. 2010, I backslid. I was not doing anything. 11, I was not doing anything. But I could go to fellowship and sit and fellowship like anyone else. But the prayer in me, the fasting life in me, the preaching life in me had grown cold. But I could go to fellowship like anyone else. And that's a problem that we youths are facing today in church. Simply because some people think when they go to church, that's all. The devil can have you in church and later have you in hell. Yeah, so that's how I was living my life in those years. However, 2011, I sat my senior 6, my advanced level in Uganda. I got 19 points. However, my mom told me, go back, because I was capable of getting serious points like that. So I went back to school, which I think it was God's plan. Because when I went back to school, I found that fellowship was staggering. People are no longer serious, and this hurt me so much because I saw the fellowship begin way back in 2006. So when I saw the history of the fellowship, how I came persecuting the fellowship, I as one. When I saw the fellowship is backsliding, people are no longer serious. So in me, I got the urge, I think it was spiritual, to come back to fellowship and have people back on board. So 2012, I go back for my advanced level, and we have the fellowship back on board. So from 2012, I've had serious ministry till now where I am.
So you decided to bounce back in 2012.
Obviously.
You saw that, let me take now the leadership of this.
Actually, I just did it basically to have the fellowship, get back on board, and then withdraw. But so, then 2012, like at the end of 2012, again I was connected to various churches. Like there is a God brought various churches to me, and they saw that since I was preaching, so they called me and involved me so much in the activities of various churches, and I could no longer withdraw from God. So 2013 I go to university. I lead various prayer groups in the university. One is called Paris Mission Team. It's one of the prayer groups I was leading. It has branches in Makere, branches in Chambogo University, another branch in YMCA. So we used to preach the gospel, go to crusades, such stuff, and we saw God working. So I've been almost full-time ministry since my 2012. And when I came to Dubai, I realized I could not have like open ministry, meeting one-on-one, or street preaching. It could give, like I could not find a way of doing it. So what I had to do was to open up various platforms on the social media. So I went to Facebook. I just used my very account, Zion Hanks, to preach the gospel there. So I went to YouTube. I opened up the series of grace. Actually, it is Apostle Paul series of grace. You find the gospels there. When you come to WhatsApp, we're using the same thing also, series of grace. And I made sure I make every social media platform of mine an altar for God.
Amen.
Yeah, because social media is not just anything else, but it's an altar. It's either for the devil or for God. But we can choose who we want to be.
Yes, but then Apostle, just to ask you, like you find like right now, many youths, they opt to the other side of the party life, let me put it like that. But you at 26, you're still strong, and you're still going stronger in the ministry of God. Like, you don't get drawn to this other side of the world, or how do you manage all this?
Okay, one thing I'll say, I cannot delight in saying I'm strong, or I cannot go there, because temptations come.
Yes.
Okay, but how you fight them matters. One thing another thing I'll add on is our God is not poor in anything. When he says gold is his and silver is his,
yes,
he means various things. He never means only money. Because when we see gold, backs up the currency of the power of every currency in every country. The more gold reserves you have, the more your money has value. But when it comes to silver, it means beauty.
Yeah.
So the beauty in the world sometimes also belongs to God, which means our God is not poor. When it comes to music, he has every kind of music.
Yeah.
Because he will have the reggae in music, in church. He will have the reggae in church. He will have the R&B in church. So you'll find youths playing the music in a style that maybe you would admire in the world, but here it's worshiping God. So sometimes I just have no reason going to the club to listen to a dancehall song which praises the devil, yet I have a dancehall song in church which praises God. So when I feel like I want to dance for God, I have my phone. It has its own music. So I know that today I feel like dancing and shouting for God. I get the dancehall music. I play worship God in my room and dance for God. Before Sunday comes, maybe if I feel like, God, I want to club, because I used to club.
Yes.
Before I came to Christ, I used to do club. But then sometimes when I feel like I'm missing club somewhere, but I have dancehall music here, I have reggae music here, and this is gospel music. You play your gospel music, which is
dance
reggae,
yourself
and you dance for God.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, we have DJs in the world who play the world music, but even in church, we have those people. So you cannot tell me I can miss a DJ in the world when I have a DJ in church, because the pastors themselves are good MCs, if I may say. God has granted them that opportunity or that grace to speak words of wisdom unto us, to speak words of grace unto us. Yes. And if you get to know, your body is not only happy, but even your spirit is also happy. Yes, yet in the world, it's only your body which is happy and your spirit is shrinking. True. But in church, you have your spirit happy, your soul happy, your body, because pastor speaks sometimes funny words, like maybe comedy, and you laugh, your body laughs. But again, he gives food to the spirit. Yes. The spirit also moves. Yes. Then the soul which was saved joins the spirit. Yes. And before you get to know, you have it all in church. It's packaged in church. And you're not finding out, you're not getting anything in the world. You're not lacking. When God says, in Zion, none of you shall say I'm sick, none of you shall lack. He never means only food. No. He never means only food. Yeah. He means a variety of things. Now, when you come to Christ, you don't lack. Joy is there. Happiness, everything you want is in church. And it's free of charge. You'll have to pay to the club. True. You'll have to pay for the beers. You'll have to pay for the prostitutes. You'll have to pay for everything in the club. When you come to church, you enter free of charge. You don't need to buy a seat. Now, in church, you don't have to buy a seat. Anywhere you want, you can sit, whether in the front or we don't have VIPs in church. You can sit anywhere. So, which means if you're this person this kind of a person who wants luxurious life, in church it's there. It's there. Sit anywhere you want. There is freedom. Listen to the good music. We have that good music, the slow music, which heals the spirit. We have the fast music, which entertains the body. We have the praise music, which brings your minds to normal. We have the word of God, which sharpens your own brains, your own spirit. By the end of it all, you find yourself not involving yourself in the world, but again, having that peace, which is more of the world. Yeah. Actually, when Jesus says, my peace I give you, my peace I leave you, my peace I give you. This is what it means. He never says that peace maybe is a commodity that you have to buy. No, once you hide in him, peace is automatic. So you find various things in church that even never make you lack or miss what was in the world.
That's nice one. Thank you so much for that. And for you to think that, of course, church is boring and everything, you just heard it from the apostle himself. He's still a youth and is just trying to stress that whatever you're buying in that club, be it dance, be it drinks, be it seats, everything. But in church, you get it for free. And again, in the clubs, once you go, you just get to entertain your body, but your soul and your spirit will be thirsting and will be like hungry for something that you cannot find in the clubs. So again, he's saying that all this in church, you get spiritually and in your soul and in your full body, you get fully nourished, and you get all these things that you pay money for, you get them free in church. So in short, the best place to be is in the church, because then you're sure of the God's presence, which will take you totally to another new level. Thank you so much, Apostle Paul, for that word of encouragement to our youths there who are opting to go to the clubs.
We honor God.
Yeah.
Still, something else. Actually, as I told you, God is not poor in anything.
Yes.
You find some people, I don't like this church. I don't like this church. It's so much boring. It seems so much spiritual. Those guys, they are too much holy. You get, there's some churches you go to and they don't dance and jump like other churches do. So someone's like, that church bores me. God is not poor. He gives you that actually when he says, I've given the chance in Deuteronomy, I've given a chance to the opportunity to choose between life and death, between light and darkness. Actually, guys, people just think it's just mere light and darkness, life and death, and people compare this to God and the devil. No. Where there is boredom, there is darkness, according to a person. Get my point? I didn't say that a church which has boredom, there is darkness. No, but someone may be detested to a given church and is saying, that church doesn't match my style. Maybe because they don't dance, yet I like things which are like, which can boost my body, and I jump and I dance for the Lord. But they never give me an opportunity to do it in this church. God has many churches around. There are churches which are led by youth pastors, and life there is fully for the youths, yet it's pleasing God. There are churches which are led by pastors which are 60 years and above, and basically things there are matching for all generations, the young, the old. There are also other churches which are led by youth pastors again, but things there are basically for people who are like with relaxed minds. I'm like, I don't need things of shouting, I don't need things of jumping. But still, God is pleased that way. So you can choose a church you want. So God is not poor at churches. If you hate someone's music, he has someone else who plays the music you love. So obviously in church, there is everything.
True. Thank you for that. Maybe as we part, what you can share with the youths out there who are maybe looking up to you. I'm very sure, definitely there is someone looking up to Apostle Paul in your village where you came from, in your country, Uganda, and maybe people you've interacted with in one way or the other in this part of the UAE, you know. There must be people who are looking up to you. What can you tell them?
Well, I'm so honored if there are people who are looking up to me.
There are.
It's really glory to the name of the living God. Well, I could be having a lot of things to share, but you'll find others in our series of Grace YouTube channel or even on Facebook. Well, but one thing I ought to tell you is in the generation we're living in right now, the world is so disturbed, so disorganized, if I may say. And in this world that we are living in, it's basically pulling the youth. And many youths are going into destruction, not even in the church. Not because they desire to go there, but basically because they lack the knowledge. So one thing I'll tell you is, get back to your word.
Yes.
Because if the scripture says in Hosea 4:6 that my people are lost, God says my people, it doesn't say other people are lost or people are lost, but it's saying my own people, which means he's talking about the church. My own people are lost because of lack of knowledge and knowledge of the word of God. So which means once you have the word of God in you, you can never lose knowledge. You can never get lost.
True.
So one thing I have to tell the youth is, read the Bible, get this word in you. Read when you want to read the Bible, when you don't want to read the Bible, when you understand what you're reading, and when you don't understand what you're reading. Just read the Bible. Once you have time, open the Bible. Just open anywhere and read the Bible.
Yes.
This word of God encourages us most. Secondly, there are some youths who have already lost hope. Now, I'll speak to you. There are some youths who have already lost hope.
Yes.
And they're like, the world we are living in right now, we have no hope. We've heard of false prophets. The Bible talks about them. It's not news. We've heard of false preachers. We know it's biblical. The Bible talks about them. They will come. Okay? But then, don't lose hope and say, I hate all the Christians. I hate all the born agains. I hate whoever says Jesus is Lord. Don't hate any pastor. Don't hate any church. You get my point?
Yeah.
Don't hate any church. One thing you have to know is God is raising a generation. Don't lose hope. He's raising a generation. And he began on it like 3 years back.
Yeah.
Which understands him, which is going to preach the gospel of God, not embarking on wars, but preaching the love of God.
Amen.
Because when Jesus came and he spoke to us, one thing, when you amidst these things, he summarized the gospel I love most was when he summarized the 10 Commandments. Because we see the 10 Commandments being given to Moses. When Jesus comes, he summarizes them only into two. And the major, you guys who did math, some of us, we are enemies with math. Hallelujah. So, some of you guys who did math, remember you used to find things like collect like terms.
Yeah.
So you find terms which look similar or which more or less look the same and correct them like in their order. So when you look at the 2 greatest commandments, love your God with all your heart, your spirit, your soul, and everything of yours. Love your neighbor as you love yourself that way. Now in this, the like term is love. So which means the law of God is simply love. So youths who are coming up, youths who are raising up in this generation, don't lose track. Don't attack fellow youths. Don't attack fellow pastors. Don't attack a pastor because your pastor is attacking them.
Yeah.
You don't know them. You have just seen them when you came to salvation. You don't know their history.
Yeah.
So don't attack a pastor because your pastor is attacking them. Don't hate a pastor because your prophet is hating the other pastor. No. The law of God is love. In heaven, there is no preaching of the gospel. In heaven, there is no evangelism. There is no prophecy in the heavens. There is only worship. And you can't worship without love.
Yes, true.
You can't worship with... That's why Jesus says the time is come and the time is now. For the true worshippers, now you can't be true without love. For love is true. Love is true. Love is kind. Love is patient. Love is not happy with evil. So if you're attacking people and hating everyone, that means you're not true. Jesus says for the true worshippers to worship God in truth and in spirit. So the only thing I can tell you is love. Love. And now this love cannot come into you unless you allow it to work in you.
Yes.
You cannot wake up and one day and say, God give me love, God give me love. That's not a prayer. No. Just allow God to operate in the inside of you. Now when God operates in the inside of you, it's obvious the fruits shall be seen.
Yes.
Because from outside. Because it's him doing the work. That's why Jesus was always against people who are looking at works of the flesh. Or what I can call self-righteousness. You know, you're like, I pray a lot, I give a lot, and you're showing everyone. Now, that's self-righteousness. But when love works on the inside of you, when God operates on the inside of you, you'll find yourself loving where no one needs you to love. You'll find yourself giving when one needs you to give. Yeah. You'll find yourself helping where, you get my point? Yeah. I mean, you find yourself doing things when no one expects you to do them. The parable of the fig tree, or the story of the fig tree. It had no fruits in the season. It was right. But when the master came, he expected to have the fruits on the tree.
Yes.
Because he is the master, he's the creator of the tree. But then the tree has no fruits. Now, Jesus is the creator of all of us all, because when you read John 1:1, it says, nothing was created that was made without him. So which means, if you're on this earth, and he is the creator who made you, it's obvious. He has to reign in the inside of you. So when he comes, he expects only love. Nothing much. Only love. Now, when you have love in you, what's taking people to heaven? Yes, there are many Christians, I'm not judging, who have confessed Christ as their personal savior.
Yeah.
They help, they visit the sick, they do everything, but they do it not because out of love, but because their pastors told them we have prison ministry or we have hospital ministry. So they go just because it's like an obligation. Now, if ministry is an obligation and a responsibility to you, my friend, check your ministry. Ministry should be love.
Point on.
If you're doing things out of I'm responsible for church, I'm responsible for the keyboard, instrumentalists, you technical team. If you're playing drums because I'm responsible for my drums, I'm responsible for this microphone, it's an obligation. Check your ministry. Because now you're doing them out of, maybe you just cram them, have to do this, and it's no longer out of love.
Yes.
It's now cram work.
Yeah.
It's now acts of the flesh, acts of righteousness.
I have to do it.
Mandatory, that's the right one. Thank you so much. Mandatory. So it becomes like you're doing it out of force. You don't feel like, but you're like, pastor is not happy if I'm not at church. So you go there because of pastor. Check your ministry. Do things out of love. So God's raising a generation to other youths who are losing hope in the leaders or in what. Please continue worship. Don't leave anyone because your pastor did the other thing, your pastor did something wrong. Don't go out of church. Continue worshiping God. If you feel uncomfortable in the church, I've told you God is not poor at churches. He has many churches. He will give you another church. Go worship there.
Amen.
But the generation God is raising is the generation of love and the grace of God.
Maybe let me just cut you a little. As you conclude, because as well you have some social media platforms, so you can share with them as well the YouTube channel, how they can find you, so that they get to hear more of this, what you have, as well as the Facebook, and maybe if you're on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay. Paul asks a question and says, if sin increases, grace abounds more.
Amen.
But then he questions and says, so should we continue sinning that grace may abound more? No. However, the more sin increases in the world or in a generation, now grace will multiply past the sin, so that we who are not involved in that sin have more capacity and more power to overcome the sin which is coming.
Yeah.
That's why this generation has more grace than the previous generations. This generation is, I may say, it is more spoiled. Okay, no, I'm not rendering it spoiled, but basing on what is happening. But the grace is more to what we are seeing. Yeah. So which means we have to accept the grace to help us overcome this world, in this generation, and win various things. Well, we shall find many things on the series of grace. More gospel of this on the series of grace. So if you go to YouTube, you can just type in Apostle Paul, series of grace, and you will see our videos there, preaching the gospel of God, preaching the grace of God, the love of God. No wars, no feelings, no what, but the love of God. When you come to Facebook, as I told you, I don't have a page there. I still use my own account that I had way before. I used to use it for preaching the devil's gospel, posting world music, doing other things. But when I came to Christ, I didn't change the name. Yeah. It remained Zion Hanks, and I still preach the gospel there. I post the gospel there. It is always brief, so it doesn't bore you to read. When you come to WhatsApp, just inbox me, still on Zion Hanks. I'll share with you a link of our WhatsApp. Join the group, still series of grace, and we preach the gospel. We are going far, and the gospel has to be preached in nations.
Amen. Thank you so much again for sharing with us a lot.
I'm so honored.
Personally felt encouraged, and of course the advices have touched me in a way also. And hopefully this won't be the last time, at least to come and share with us what you have, apart from this series of grace. Yes, and just continue doing whatever you're doing. Yes. Amen. The gospel has to be preached in other ways. Yes. Thank you again for coming to the show.
Amen. We honor God for that.
Okay.
Sorry, it's the grace of God. And this is Kingdom Life.
Yes.
This is Kingdom Sacrifice. Everything is for the Kingdom of God. Yeah, not us.
Thank you. And as to the throne channelers, I hope from what you said and from the preaching is preached for this little short while, at least it will help you advance in your life in a way and see a life in a different perspective, as well as for our youths, of course. Mostly it touched the youths, mentioning to them as well that, of course, all that you're looking in the world, you can find it all in the church. So you don't have to go to that club for you to find that thing you've been looking for. All is in the church, because our God owns everything.
Yes.
Thank you once more for watching, and till next time, have a nice time. Bye.